You can't deny it anymore. The New York Jets are good. They are for real. Well, welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Watsu-K99 and overjoyed Watsu-K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. The New York Jets did something that nobody under the sun thought they would do. They defeat the Buffalo Bills 20-17, widely acknowledged as the best team, not in the division, not in the conference, but in all of the NFL. The Bills came in. The stadium was 40% Bills Mafia from all reports, and the Bills took an early lead, but you know what? The Jets took the game away from them. The Jets went toe-to-toe with the best, and they beat them. Such a trademark game. We use the word statement game a lot. We've been saying that a lot this season, making a statement game. This was a statement with about 50 exclamation points on the back end of the sentence, to me. The Jets went toe-to-toe with this team. Let's look at a couple of stats here. The Jets had 19 first downs. The Bills had 21. The Jets had 9 drives, 61 plays for 310 yards. The Bills had 9 drives, 61 plays, 317 yards. Just a 7-yard difference, same number of plays. The Jets averaged 5.2 yards per play. The Bills 5.1. Even penalties. We were worried about penalties coming into this game. The Jets had 3 penalties for 30 yards. The Bills had 3 penalties for 30 yards. Time of possession. The Bills owned time of possession early on, but the Jets controlled the game in the second half. They had 32-44 of time of possession. The Bills 27-16. So we're going to get to our 3 key plays that you might not recall that affected the outcome of the game. But this is why I wanted to make this the title of this video, and that's why I put this in the thumbnail. To me, there is an MVP who deserves to be acknowledged. He's been under a lot of criticism from a lot of Jets fans, especially this past week. The offensive MVP, I am not talking about Zach Wilson. I'm not talking about Garrett Wilson. I'm not even talking about the offensive line, but oh my goodness, did they do an amazing job today. I give the offensive line all the credit in the world. But you know who my MVP is today? mikelafleur. That's right, MLF, who had been way too pass happy, especially against New England. I think he called a fantastic game. He put the Jets in a position against a great, and I mean a great defense. I know they were missing Jordan Poyer and Matt Milano, but this Bills defense is excellent. And he put them in a position to move the ball all game long. If we look at the total, the Jets had 61 plays. 18 of those were passing, and 25. It was 18 completions. I apologize. 34 rushing attempts and 25 passing attempts. So that was the breakdown. So the Jets ran more than they passed, which I was very happy to see. That's the way that this offense should work. Let Zach work off of the run game. Losing Breece Hall, as we all know, was devastating, but today we saw what James Robinson can do. He's not the home run hitter, but he has power. He gets second effort yards. Go back and watch that first play on the drive that led to the Jets' game-winning field goal. It looked like he was going to get stopped for 1 or 2 yards, and he got 9. Fantastic job by J-Rob. All right, so I want to credit Mike LaFleur for that. Very well done. Now, let's talk about the 3 key plays you might not recall that affected the outcome of the game. We are going to start in the second quarter with 3 minutes to go on the clock. Now, the Jets are down 14-3 at this point. They have the ball at the Buffalo 40, and this is a position where you really started to think this team really could use a touchdown here. Because you're not going to be, I felt this way, the way about Buffalo that I used to against New England. Field goals are fine, but you're not going to beat Buffalo going field goal while they're going touchdown. Eventually, it just doesn't work. This was a game where the Jets had to be aggressive. They had to take some chances. So it is now 2nd and 9. on this clock as I'm pulling the correct play up. So, all right, so 2nd and 9. And with 3 minutes left, Zach Wilson finds Garrett Wilson, who was just fantastic today, for an 8-yard gain, and that was big. Because if he doesn't do that, we're talking 3rd and 9. If it's an incomplete pass, and the Bills can basically just send the house at Zach Wilson, most likely. And, when you're facing the Von Millers, the Greg Rousseaus of the world, you don't need that. You don't need that. But it was an 8-yard completion, making it 3rd and 1. The Jets would convert the 4th down after the 2-minute warning. Now, a lot of people are going to look at the C.J. Uzomah 4th down conversion, but don't forget about the 2nd down play that made it just a 4th and 1 as opposed to what could have been maybe a 4th and 8 or a 4th and 9. That's play number 1. Play number 2, we're going to go straight to the 4th quarter. We're going to go to the beginning of the 4th quarter as a matter of fact. So at this point, Buffalo has the ball. Now, this is also a 2nd and 9 play as well. The Bills are driving. They just converted a 3rd and 6. So at this point, let's see, with 13, it was a 13:52 to go in the 4th quarter. And the Bills are on the Jets' 33-yard line. They are driving at this point. And being that it's 17-14, you did not want to see the Bills take the lead. Well, JJ, welcome back Jermaine gets big pressure on Josh Allen. He has to throw the ball away. That led to a 3rd and 9, which was a long incompletion pass to Nyheim Hines, who didn't even get a running attempt in this game. I couldn't understand the way they were using him. Now, Tyler Bass did make a 51-yard field goal, but after that situation, I got to be honest with you, I was feeling relieved when they made that field goal. The fact that the defense was able to hold Buffalo to a field goal and they now had a chance to go down the field and take the lead, I thought that was actually a little bit of a victory for the Jets defense. And JJ's pressure had a lot to do with it. Now, we're going to go all the way to the last drive of the game. So at this point, the Jets have already scored. It would have been very easy to include a play from, the long drive, but it's just too easy to look at that. I actually am going to go to the next drive when the Bills had a chance to go down the field. Now, keep in mind, they have their timeouts at this point, and they have they're out of timeouts, excuse me, but they still had a minute 45, and all they have to do is get to about, Tyler Bass had not made a 50-yard field goal this year, but they really only had to get to about the 30 or 30, the low 30s, really, to be in a legitimate field goal range. So it's 1st and 10 from the 25, a minute 45. We know how fast Buffalo can move the ball down the field. The first play is the Josh Allen deep pass to Stephon Diggs. Jets are playing 2 high safeties. He finds them right on the sideline for a 26-yard gain. That puts the Bills on the Jet 49-yard line with still a minute 36 to go. They only needed a minute 36, and that would have been plenty of time for them to go down the field. Certainly enough time to kick the field goal. But oh no. The Bills get a penalty. It's holding on left tackle Diondawkins, who was holding Carl Lawson. Now, if you look at the stat sheet, you will not notice Carl Lawson. However, he got held, and that absolutely devastated Buffalo. So instead of 1st and 10 at the Jets 49, it's now 1st and 20 from the Buffalo 15. They did get 18 yards back on the Gabriel Davis reception. He was very quiet today. And but after that was when Josh Allen got sacked. And that's when Bryce Huff had a sack that led to the loose ball. Of course, Buffalo did recover it, but the fact that the Bills could have had about a minute and a half to go 50 yards for the game-winning touchdown, that penalty was absolutely paramount. And the amazing thing, it's the only offensive penalty that the Bills took all day. Huge. I want to say one other thing before we sign off here. I want to give a shout-out to the Tidewater Browns Backers. Today, the Virginia Jets fans, we hung with the Cleveland Browns fans at a Sneaky Pizza in Virginia Beach. We did a fundraiser for St. Jude Hospital. We did a chili cook-off. There were 20 chilies entered. Pretty amazing. And it was $5 for all you can eat. And all the proceeds went to St. Jude. We had a 50-50. We had a couple of different raffle prizes, which was really cool. And I was really proud to be part of that. And the Browns fans were very cool. This was a dives dive. It was, guys. I'm not kidding you. It was literally 90 to 95 degrees in that bar. We were sweating, stinking on top of each other, sitting next to each other, but it was so worth it to see. I really thought I was hyperventilating. I think a few of us may have lost 10 pounds. I mean, oh my gosh, walking around, pacing ourselves in that kind of heat. It was so hot they literally turned the lights off in the bar for about 2 hours just to try to cool it down somewhat. Just an amazing time. And boy, I know it's a little bit tough. We want to see another Jet game, but the bye's coming up. You know what? I'm good with the bye coming up right now. I want the extra week to get ready for New England. I just wish New England didn't have a bye as well. So Belichick's got 2 weeks to get ready for us, but we've got 2 weeks to get ready for them. And you know what? What a win that would be if we could exercise the Patriot demon by beating them in their house. Wouldn't that be amazing? But I got to tell you, I am pumped about this game. I didn't have confidence they were going to win it. I felt a little bit more confident when I started hearing some of the injury report with Matt Milano was going to be out of the game. Spencer Brown, the right tackle, would be out of the game. And you saw the difference there when Quesenberry, who used to be on Tennessee, gave up that pressure to Bryce Huff. That was all on Quesenberry. The Bills were beat up. They didn't play their best game, but you know what? The Jets had the talent to take advantage of it. When the Bills let their guard down a little bit, the Jets just snatched the game right from them, sending Bills Mafia back to Canada in disarray. Well, we'll see them again. I'm sure it's going to be another absolute fight, but here's the bottom line. To all my fellow Jets fans, we have the right to be excited. We have the right to be happy, and we're going to have one heck of a second half of the 2022 season. Go Jets, and I'll see you back here with more content from you know where, the Wicker Chair.